Lesson 12, EWay Bill Management. In this chapter, we will discuss about that how you can generate EWay bill from busy. EWay bill is a unique number generated from government's portal and includes details about the goods, transporter, consignor, and so on. If an unregistered dealer is transporting goods, then EWay bill is to be generated either by the transporter of the goods or by the recipient of the goods. EWay bill is basically a document generated before the transportation or shipment of goods under the GST regime for both local and interstate supplies. It is mandatory to generate EWay bill for interstate supplies if the value of goods is more than rupees 50,000. However, in case of local transaction, every state has its own set of rules. The transporter or in charge of the vehicle convenes must carry a copy of the EWay bill with him while transporting goods from one place to another. So this is basically a brief discussion about the EWay bill. Now we will discuss that how we can generate EWay bill from busy. To generate EWay bill from busy, first of all we need to enable and configure the EWay bill option. To enable and configure EWay bill, we'll go to Administration, Configuration, Features Options, GST VAT tab. Here, first of all, we will specify yes in the EWay bill required option. That is, yes, we want to generate EWay bill in this company. We want EWay bill in this company. So we are specifying yes in this option. Then next, a configuration button will get active. We'll click the configuration button and we'll specify the configuration. Here, first is from place. Here you need to specify the place from where you usually dispatch your goods, basically the godown or the material center from where the goods are dispatched. So that place is from place, and then you need to specify the pin code of that place. Next is central export transactions, amount after which EWay bill is applicable B2B, B2C. Here you need to specify an amount after which EWay bill is required to be generated for central or export transaction. As we have mentioned earlier also that in case of central transactions, interstate transactions, EWay bill is required to be generated if the value of goods is more than rupees 50,000. Next is EWay bill required for local transactions. If you want to generate EWay bill for local transactions also, then you need to specify yes in this option. Then applicable for transaction, that is in case of local transaction, EWay bill is applicable for both B2B and B2C transactions or only B2B transaction. So it's up to you, it's your requirement. You want to generate EWay bill for both B2B and B2C or only for B2B transaction. Then is amount after which EWay bill is applicable for B2B, B2C. As we have mentioned earlier also that in case of local transactions, that is every state has its own set of rules. So whatever limit is applicable in your state, you need to specify that. Here we are specifying as 50,000. That means for local transactions, EWay bill is required to be generated if the value of goods is more than 50,000. Next is distance after which EWay bill is applicable in kilometer. One more point to note here is that in case of local transactions, sometimes you are not required to generate EWay bill if there is a very small distance between from place and to place. So here you need to basically specify the distance in kilometers after which you are required to generate the EWay bill. Amount criteria is different. Both the criteria will work together. That is, amount you have specified after which EWay bill is required to be generated and distance after which EWay bill is required to be generated for local transactions. However, in local transactions, if you want to generate EWay bill in all the cases, irrespective of the distance, then you need to specify 0 here. Then is amount on which EWay bill is applicable. Suppose you have specified here the limit as 50,000. So this 50,000 is should be the bill amount or the taxable amount. Bill amount means tax amount plus the taxable amount, that is the amount on which tax is calculated. Taxable amount is only the taxable amount, that is the amount on which tax is to be calculated, and in taxable amount no tax amount is included. Next, restrict sub-users to change EWay bill applicability in vouchers. If you want your sub-users to change EWay bill applicability in vouchers while making data entry, that is, they can change whether EWay bill is to be generated for this voucher or not, then you can specify no in this data field. And if you want to restrict them, then you can specify yes in this data field. Then is enable auto generation of EWay bill. If you want to generate EWay bill automatically without even going to GST portal, then you can specify yes in this field. One thing to note here is that this feature is available only if the user has a valid busy license subscription. Next is EWay Bill portal button. We are clicking this button. Now Busy will redirect us to the EWay Bill portal. We'll specify the username, password, which you need to log into the EWay Bill portal. Then at the left hand side, you'll click the registration button. After clicking the registration button, you will click the For GSP option. Next, specify the email ID and the mobile number and click the Send OTP button. Now enter the OTP that you have received on this particular mobile number and then validate this OTP. Here you'll need to click the Add New button at the top, specify the GSP name, username, re-enter username, password and re-enter password. Here please note that your EWay Bill portal login username and password is different from GSP user ID and password. Now coming back to Busy, here Busy is asking EWay Bill printing format. That is, you want to print EWay Bill in the summary form or in the detailed form. You can choose it as per your requirement. Then you need to specify the EWay Bill GSP user ID and EWay Bill GSP password. This is just we have created on the EWay Bill portal. Again, please note EWay Bill GSP user ID and password are different from the EWay Bill username and password that you need to log into the portal. So these are different. Specify the GSP user ID and password here. These are all required for auto generation of EWay Bill. Click OK button, then click Save button to save this configuration. Till now we have done the general configuration. Now we will configure our certain masters. That is, certain configuration is required in masters also. Here first of all we are going to Material Center Master and we are opening a Material Center Master in modify mode. We are assuming that you have already created your Material Center Masters. So open a Material Center in modify mode. Here you have to make sure that you have specified the address, from place, from station and pin code. Basically, you must check that data in all these fields is provided so that there is no error at the time of generating EWay bill. These details are usually used as dispatch details if you want to print dispatch details from the Material Center Master. Next, we are opening an account master. We are opening our party account master in modify mode. Here you have to make sure that you have provided data in the transport field, station field, pin code field, and then you need to click the check distance button to calculate the distance between the from place you have specified in the features options, that is the place from where your company usually dispatch the goods, and the pin code as specified in the party master, that is where the party will receive the goods, and that distance will be updated in the distance field. This distance is calculated by Google Map. Next, we are opening the unit master in modify mode. Here you have to make sure that you have specified UQC, that is unit quantity code for EWay bill. It is also mandatory that you must have specified UQC for EWay bill for each unit. Otherwise, there is a possibility of error while generating the EWay bill. So these are the masters that are required to be configured. Next, we are discussing about the configuration of voucher series. So for those voucher series for which you want to generate the EWay bill, you have to make a certain configuration. So we are discussing that. We are going to administration, configuration, voucher series configuration. Select the series that you want to configure. Here we are selecting the main series of sales voucher type and then click the voucher configuration option. Next, you need to specify yes in the generate EWay bill after saving option. Basically, on specifying yes in this data field, you are tagging this series that whenever a voucher is saved for this series, Busy shall generate a EWay bill or Busy asks for generating an EWay bill. So for series for which you do not want to generate EWay bill, you can specify no in this data field. But for the series for which you want to generate the EWay bill, you need to specify yes in this data field. Click Save button to save the configuration. Next, we are discussing various miscellaneous utilities which are used to input data required for EWay bill generation. There are certain utilities provided under Transaction GST Miscellaneous Utilities section. You can see update HSN SSC description, input transporters GST and ID, update port address details. These three utilities we'll discuss. So first of all, we are going to update HSN SSC description utility. Here we are clicking the load HSN SSC codes unit button. You can see HSN SSC code, unit name are appearing on the screen. Here you need to specify the description wherever required. If a description is already entered, you can make required changes in it also. It is also a mandatory step. You must check that you have specified description for HSN SSC code. Next is Input transporter's GSTN ID. Please check that you have specified the transporter name, GSTN ID, address related details of the transporter. So you can use this utility to provide these details or modify any existing details. Next is update port address details. Using this utility, you can specify the port code and the address of that port. This is basically required for import export transactions. If you are exporting goods via shipping, then you need to specify the port code and the address of that port from where the goods are shipped. We are now done with our configuration part, and we have also discussed certain utilities, miscellaneous utilities, which are required to input data for e-way bill generation. Now we'll come to our main part, that is generation of e-way bill. Here, first of all, we'll discuss that how we can generate e-way bill for a single voucher. For this, we are going to transaction, sales, add option, specifying header related details of the voucher, selecting party. On selecting the party, a billing shipping details window is appearing. Here, you can specify any other billing shipping address also if you want to, if there is a requirement. That is, if the goods are not received at the address which is mentioned in the account master, then you can specify some other address here also. Next, specify item related details, specify the required bill sundry, and click Save button. On clicking the Save button, a transport details window is appearing. Here you need to specify the transporter details. If you want, you can create a new transporter from here also by clicking the Add New button. Here, a double click to update GSTN ID label is provided. You can double click this label to update or modify any GSTN ID details. Then specify GRRR number, GRRR date, vehicle number, station to place, that is the place where goods will be received, pin code of that place, and then is e-way bill required. Yes, e-way bill is required in this transaction. Next is distance in kilometer. You can click the check distance button, and here you can see this is showing approximate distance between Bangalore and Dwarka. Bangalore is a from place which we have specified in the features option, and Dwarka is a place here we have specified in the to place field. So pin codes of both these fields will be used to calculate the distance between these two places, and that distance will be updated in the distance in kilometer field. Next is mode of transport, that is the mode used for transporting goods. Subtype, you can select the subtype, you can leave it as select automatically or select whether it's export, job work, or any such category. Then is transaction type. Here you can select automatically option if you want busy to pick automatically that what type of transaction it is. If you want to specify it yourself, then as various options are provided, we'll discuss these options one by one. First is regular. Select this option if goods are dispatched from seller's location as specified in the features option and shipped to buyer's location as entered in the account master. Next is bill to ship to. Select this option if goods are dispatched from seller's location as specified in the features option and shipped to a location other than buyer's location as specified in account master. That is, if you have specified any other location in the billing shipping details window, that will be used as a station where goods are received. Next is bill from, dispatch from. Select this option if goods are dispatched from a location other than the seller's location as specified in the features option and will be shipped to buyer's location as specified in the account master itself. Then is combination of 2 and 3. This is the combination of above two transactions. That is, goods are dispatched from a location other than seller's location specified in features option and shipped to a location other than buyer's location as specified in the account master. Basically, dispatch details, place where goods are received, are used for printing in the e-way bill. Then you can see e-way bill number, e-way bill date fields are blank here because we have not yet generated the e-way bill. Click OK button. Now Biz is asking, do you want to save the voucher? Yes. And then Biz is asking, do you want to generate the e-way bill? Yes, we want to generate the e-way bill. On clicking the yes button, a generate e-way bill window is appearing with 4 options: automatic, JSON, as per government template, and plain Excel. Using the automatic option, you can generate e-way bill automatically without even going to GST portal. Again, this option is useful for only those users who have a valid Busy license subscription. Next is JSON option. You can select JSON option to generate a JSON file. JSON file generated from Busy can be directly uploaded to e-way bill portal. On selecting the JSON option, a generate e-way bill file window will appear. You need to require details in that window and specify the path where you want to generate the JSON file and click OK button. When you click the OK button, a JSON file will be generated at the specified path. Next is as per government template. Select this option to generate Excel file as per government template. On selecting this option, a report options window will appear in which you will specify the path where government templates are kept on your computer and the path where Excel file is to be generated, and click OK button. On clicking the OK button, a file will be generated at the specified path. You can open the file and click create JSON button in it to create a JSON file. That JSON file will then be uploaded on the EWay portal. Next is plain Excel. Select this option to generate plain Excel file without specifying path for Excel templates. File generated from this option may not import properly in offline tools, so you can either use as per government template or JSON option if you are not using the automatic option. Here we are clicking the automatic option, and on clicking the automatic option you can see various report options are appearing, wherein first option is pick from address details from material center. Specify yes in this data field to print address as mentioned in the material center master, that is address of the material center. Skip item quantity details. Specify yes in this data field if you do not want to print item details like quantity and unit in the EWay bill. Club item details on HSN and unit. Specify yes in this data field to club items on the basis of HSN code and unit. If you specify no in this data field, then items will be clubbed only on the basis of item name. Treat taxable amount and tax amount as invoice value. Specify yes in this data field to treat taxable amount as the tax amount as invoice amount. That is, the tax amount and the amount on which tax is charged will be treated as invoice amount, and no other bill sundry will be included in it. Next, exclude deemed tax in non-taxable vouchers. Specify yes in this data field to do not include deemed tax in the list of non-taxable vouchers. For example, when stock is transferred, no GST is charged on it. However, sometimes need arises to mention tax rate and amount on the bill, although no tax is charged in the bill. In such a case, rate at which item is taxable is shown on the bill along with the tax amount and is treated as deemed tax. Hence, to show such tax amount, specify no in this data field. Otherwise, to exclude such tax amount, specify yes in this data field. Then special characters to be removed. Specify special characters which may cause error to be removed from the data. Next, this is asking check possible errors or view and generate EWay bill. It is always recommended to check possible errors. So we are clicking the check possible errors button and you can see a blank report here. This means your data is perfectly fine. If there would have been any error in the data, that entry would have been shown here with reason mentioned in the invalid data found column. So now we have checked our data. We are clicking the view and generate EWay bill button option. Again, Busy is showing all the details. You can recheck these details before generating the EWay bill and then click the generate EWay bill button to generate the EWay bill. Now Busy is showing the EWay bill number on the screen, that is EWay bill is generated successfully. So this is the EWay bill number which is generated for this particular transaction. Next, Busy is asking, do you want to print the EWay bill? Yes, we want to print the EWay bill, and on the screen you can view the format of the EWay bill. This is the EWay bill which is printed. It's showing EWay bill number and all other details. Now Busy is asking, do you want to print sales invoice? Yes, we want to print the sales invoice. We are printing it in the standard format. And you can see this sales invoice is showing the EWay bill number. So this EWay bill number which is generated will be automatically printed in the EWay bill sales invoice, and it will be updated in the voucher itself. If you remember, we have left the EWay bill number field blank in the transport details window. The EWay bill number that is generated on saving the voucher will automatically be fitted in that also. Now we are discussing one more case, that is you are generating EWay bill for export transaction. For this, we are entering a sales voucher, specifying header related details, selecting the party. You can see this party belongs to Singapore, that is to a foreign country. So we are making export through this party. Then select the item and specify details related to it. Click save button. On saving the voucher, An export shipping bill details window is appearing wherein you need to specify the shipping bill number, shipping bill date, port code. Port code is basically the code of the port from where goods will be dispatched. You can update port code address details also by clicking the update port code address button. You can see on the screen port code and its details are appearing. If you want, you can make any modification, you can add any new port code also. So in export transaction, basically you must specify the port code from where the goods are dispatched. Next, a transport details window is appearing. Here you need to specify the transport related details. In the station to place, you need to specify the place where actually port is located. For example, you are exporting goods from Vishakhapatnam, so to place will be the Vishakhapatnam, and in the pin code field, you will specify the pin code of that particular port. Next, check distance button you will click. It will calculate distance between the from place and the to place, that is the port code we have specified here. And then you'll click the OK button. Here this is asking, do you want to save the voucher? Yes. Then it's asking, do you want to generate the EWay bill? Yes, we want to generate the EWay bill. Then it's asking automatic, JSON, as per government template, plain Excel. We are selecting the automatic option, specifying data in various report options, and then we'll click the check possible errors button. Here also the report is blank, that means our data is perfectly fine. Now we'll click the view and generate EWay bill option. On clicking this button, this is showing the data. If you want, you can recheck these details. And here in the receiver details, you can see it's showing the port address from where goods will be exported. Next, click the generate EWay bill button to generate the EWay bill for this particular voucher. So for export transaction, main thing is that you must mention the port code. Again, this is showing a message that EWay bill number has been generated successfully. So this is the process for generating EWay bill for export transactions. Now we are opening this voucher in modify mode. Here on clicking the save button, transport details window is appearing and you can see EWay bill number and EWay bill date are showing the respective data. So this EWay bill number and date is fed automatically. We have mentioned earlier also that once an EWay bill number is generated, it will automatically be fed in the voucher. Now next we will discuss about generating EWay bill for multiple vouchers in one go. Till now we have discussed about generating EWay bill for a single voucher. Now we will generate EWay bill for multiple vouchers. Separate EWay bill number will be generated for each voucher, but using a single click we can generate EWay bill for multiple vouchers. So for this we are going to transaction, GST, miscellaneous utilities, EWay bill management, then generate EWay bill. Again we are clicking the automatic option. Specify the voucher type, date range for which you want to view the vouchers. Then here an option exclude vouchers already having EWay bill number is provided. If you enable this option, then Busy will show only those vouchers for which EWay bill number is not yet generated. You can see there are two vouchers appearing on the screen. So first we will update the transport details for them. We are clicking the update transport details button provided at the bottom, specifying the transport related details for this particular voucher and clicking the OK button. Next, we are selecting both the vouchers and clicking the check EWay bill details button. Specify data in various report options and this is showing there is no error in both the vouchers. If there would have been error, the reason would have been shown in the invalid data found column. So now as the data is perfectly fine, we will click the generate EWay bill button. Again, specify data in various report options. Click the check possible errors button again to make sure there is no error in the data. And then we are clicking the proceed with generation of EWay bill button. It's showing on the screen that EWay bill is generated for two invoices. We have selected the two invoices, so EWay bill is generated for both these invoices. Now if we disable the exclude vouchers already having EWay bill number, then this is showing the list of vouchers for which EWay bill is generated. Here the last two vouchers are the same for which we have just generated the EWay bill. If you want, you can print the EWay bill also for these vouchers. So we'll click the print EWay bill button. This is asking print EWay bill for this particular transaction. Yes, and you can see the format of the EWay bill. Next, we are printing the EWay bill for another voucher for which we have just generated the EWay bill. And on the screen, you can see the format of the EWay bill. So this is all we have to discuss in this particular chapter. At the end of the chapter, we have provided certain exercise. You can view the exercise on screen and attempt it. Hope after going through this chapter, you would be able to easily generate e-way bill from Busy. Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel.